So, Coach, thanks for taking a few minutes here with me this morning. We really appreciate it. I think I speak on behalf of Fritz Holzgrave, our CEO, President CEO, that we are thrilled to be partnered with Joe Gibbs Racing, and we think that the experience early into our partnership has been fantastic, and we know that we're going to do a lot of special things together.
I think we are. Every time I see that Saia truck up and down the road, which you see it all the time, I'm excited to be a part of it and be a partner with you guys. So it's fun for us, and this is a pretty exciting part of the world to be in out here. So this is fun. I get to travel with you too.
Absolutely. And let me tell you something. If somebody would have asked me 12 months ago that Saia would be in NASCAR and that I'd be sitting here interviewing you, I would have said I probably would have had a better chance of actually driving a Cup Series car versus having this conversation with you here. So
Let's don't do that. Let's don't do that.
No, that would be a problem. But thanks for taking a few minutes. And really, the primary reason I wanted to do this is we started the podcast at Saia, and really, your team has motivated me. You have such a great social media group with Boris, and I see what Dave does, and I understand the impact that that has on employees and obviously your brand. And one of the things that we're really big on at Saia is making sure that we communicate to all of our nearly 16,000 employees across the company and keeping them updated with what's going on. And having this opportunity to have this conversation with you and learning from you, I think is it's a unique experience for us, and I think it will help us kind of bond our employees, kind of galvanize the group behind Saia and what we're doing with the sponsorship. So there's a generation of folks out there that are sports fans, and they may not realize that you won 3 Super Bowls, and that you've had multiple championships in NASCAR. You're in the Hall of Fame, the NFL Hall of Fame, and was it 2020 you're inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame?
I was, yeah.
So that's pretty special. And like you're still working on, and you've already been.
Well, it is. It is special. And the thing, though, that for me, I've always been in team stuff. And so at football, it was team, and I know what kind of team that Saya has, too. I appreciate you guys. And I've said to you, I don't know how you guys reach out to thousands of people that work for you. I couldn't control 50 football players. So, but I've been team in football, team in racing. So I got the credit. I get shoved out front. I get to do things like, you know, be in a Hall of Fame or something. But I realize it was the people around me, and it was the teamwork. And that's what I admire about Saya, too, and the way you guys go after it. And we know in leadership, like you are, it is the teamwork that makes all of us look good.
I think probably the number one question you receive from fans, who is the best
Yeah,
player in,
I
in,
get
in
it.
the NFL league? And I've heard you answer that question, and you specifically talk about the special teams. And I've never
Yes.
really heard you mention, you talk about players having a lot of success, but you've never really mentioned one person. Can you just talk a little bit
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah, the reason why I answer it that way is I was all about team. And with in football, for instance, people ask me that question: who's the greatest football player that you coached? I really can't do that. And I start out with Pete Cronin and Steve Jones and people like that, and they go, "What? They don't recognize any of those names." And the point being, they were special teams players. And I really felt like in our football teams, special teams, those guys sacrificed so much, and they were the heart of your team because they didn't get a lot of accolades. They didn't get in the press a lot.
Yep.
But you can imagine covering kickoffs or standing down there waiting for a punt, knowing that you got 11 guys going to try and kill you. And our football team, the defense and offense, who got all the credit, they really respected those guys. And so did I. And so you tell those stories because that's really, really what's important when you're talking about people that sacrifice and are willing to pay a price to be on a team and make it, make it what it is. So,
That's I can relate to that at Saia because when I think about the special teams unit for Saia LTL Freight, I think about our dock workers and our drivers, the folks that work in our terminals.
yes.
They're the ones doing the hard work each and every day. I mean, we're fortunate we get to come to events like this, and we do bring depending on the city, we'll have some employees that get an opportunity to participate as well. But they're kind of the unsung heroes when you're working in Chicago and it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you're stripping freight off of a trailer and it's 10 below. Um, those are the folks that are sacrificing a lot to make sure that we live up to our commitment to our customers. So I really can relate to that, and I appreciate when you say that. So we have a lot of young leaders in our company. When I think about the ops team and on the sales team, folks that are striving to do more for our organization. And I read somewhere like you're the master motivator. And I would always wonder, so you've been in some intense games in the NFL and going into that halftime locker room when maybe things didn't go so well. Can you talk about how you would inspire the football players to come back out and be ready to go play again?
Yeah, I think, lots of times you get credit for that, but I think one of the keys is picking those people. Like when you select the people to be on your team, what are we doing? We're asking them to sacrifice their individual goals for the goals of the team. And those are the kind of people that you want on your football team. When it comes to motivating them, we know that, hey, certain things excite people. Human nature being what it is. Fear is one thing. So sometimes I'd threaten them. We don't start playing, you're going to wind up, I'm cutting you. But that's not true. But there is some of that.
Sure.
But then the other motivation part of it is just appealing to their pride. And I always tell young people, too, when I'm talking to them, always remember your past will direct your future. In other words, the kind of person you've been, the way you work and go after things, the team knows you. The one thing you don't fool is the collective mind. And so they're going to figure you out. And then odds are you're going to be recommended for jobs and your future is going to depend on what you've done. So I always try and kind of sell that to young people because I think it's really important. I know myself, when I started out coaching, that first coaching group I was with recommended me for jobs later on because they see your work ethic, you see what kind of person you are. So I always try and emphasize that to young people. And I think it's human nature does not change. I went back to football after being out 11 years, and everybody said to me, they said, what do you think's changed about the NFL? I said, everything, with the exception of one thing, and that's human nature. Where the same things excited us 1,000 years ago excite us today. The same things that discourage us. We're made that way. And so appealing to the human nature and the pride of those individuals, certainly, I felt like I always kind of use as an example, we were playing a Monday night game and we got off to a terrible start in Washington. And Monday night games are tough because I normally speak to the team the night before. So you got to go all the way to the next evening before you go out to play the game. And so I walked out in the locker room. We got off to a terrible start. And I just said this. I said, listen, if any of you guys got anything to give the Redskins, give it tonight. We need you. We got down. We had a prayer. And when we stood up, about 3 of those big guys that went with me through 4 Super Bowls, 3 of them were crying. And what did that say? I say to all of us that deal with people and are picking people, get people that care. Those guys cared. People talk about, well, they get paid a lot of money. I never heard money out of those guys.
Pride.
It was pride in what they're doing. They wanted to be the best. And what you coach, some of those guys, they want to be in the Pro Bowl.
Sure.
And they would go, give me the ball. When it came down to tough times, and those are the kind of people that you want, and that's kind of what makes the team.
We're a cyclical business, and we go through periods where things are great, maybe a full year, and then we may have a quarter that's not so great, and keeping people connected to what the ultimate long-term goal is really important, and I can appreciate that and certainly relate to that. So I know it's race day. Just two more quick questions, and I'll let you get out of here. But I think about my career at Saia. So December will be 28 years that I've been with the company, and throughout my career, I've had all kinds of offers to go to different companies, but Saia's been really good to me. And I know in sports, it's contracts and how much money can I make, and some people like to jump around a little bit, but I've always felt like loyalty has been an important part of my success. Can you talk about how, with you obviously being a very loyal,
Yeah.
committed person to the NFL, the Redskins, and obviously now your own organization, can you talk about the impact loyalty has on success from your perspective?
Yeah, I think the most important things in our life and sometimes, we kind of struggle in these areas, but for me, it's keeping the right priorities in life. So if you talk about our occupation, where should that fit? And for me, it's been God first, and the influence I'm having on others and my family second, but then it's third. The third most important thing in my life should be my occupation. And so many people have it sixth, seventh, eighth. You can tell they just don't care. Yet the qualities and everything that I've been given, the third most important thing in my life. So to me, what's my obligation then to the company that I work for, or in your case, like you described, the way Saia has treated you? It's a lot. I want to be there early. I want to stay late.
Yeah.
And I want the company to be successful. And I think that is so important in our life. And I see people that really, you struggle with people that don't treat it that way. It's really, really important. And that's where I'm going to spend a lot of my time. And I want to be good at it, whatever that is. And I know you do too, and you have been.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. So I do appreciate that, and I feel like if I'm going to do a job, I'm going to give it everything I've got to be successful and really support.
I think the
company's
best,
been good to me.
Yeah, the best leadership style is servant style leadership. The easiest thing to do, now it's hard, but the easiest thing to do is be there early, stay late. I'm gonna go after it hard, and then it's easy to say to somebody, "Hey, do this or do that," and they're saying, "Well, he's not just saying it; he's doing it." And so that's the easiest way to lead. I think lead people.
Well, great. Well, thank you, Coach. We are in Sonoma. It is race day. I know you got a really busy day on your schedule. Any final thoughts on today's race? I know Ty did great last week. We came in second, and we were rooting for him.
Yeah, I get so uptight. I get sweaty palms. And the thing I struggle with over here in racing, in football, I can make it happen. I can call plays, decide. Over here, I'm praying. So that's what I will be doing today. But I get excited about it. And I love getting up every day and going to work and trying to compete, beat somebody in something. Whether it's business, trying to beat all those people that you compete with. I can only imagine all the people that Saia deals with, and you're trying to compete in that world. And here we are in sports, and we're going up against the Penskes, the Hendricks, and these guys, and we get a chance to try and beat them. What else could you want in life? I tell everybody, what else? You get a chance. We're so lucky and so fortunate. We get to come to work. Today, we're going to get to see if our race team can beat those other race teams in front of millions of people.
That's fantastic.
I tell our guys, we're so lucky. Most people never get this opportunity. So I'm excited about it. Let's see if we can get Saia up front. I love the way that car looks.
Looks fantastic.
Because that thing gets up front, man, it's going to make it stands out. So I'm excited about today.
Coach, it's been an honor. Thanks for taking a few minutes. I know our folks back at Saia and all of our employees are going to appreciate the little motivation speech we're getting from you today. So thank you again. We really do appreciate the partnership.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you. I appreciate the partnership. Thank you.